Do you know spending time alone is actually very, very important, especially for people that stay in a fast paced environment like me? I live in Dublin, and I always say Dublin is turning into a new Lagos. I do not like it at all. And as an introvert, I try to run away. It's okay to take time to relax and detox once in a while.
Your new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you your comfort zone and your sense of direction. It's going to cost you your relationships and friends. It's going to cost you being liked and understood. It doesn't matter. The people who are meant for you are going to meet you on the other side. You're going to build a new comfort zone around the things that actually move you forward.
Living in Dublin often feels like life is just rushing by. Feels like we're trying to reach the end of a race that no one knows about. We walk fast, we live a fast paced life, adding to the stress of thinking about adulthood. I don't think I want that much in my plate. When I went to the Balkan, I discovered a slower pace of life that changed everything.
Procrastinating is a form of fear, and it is difficult to acknowledge fear. But the truth is that you cannot create anything of value without both self-doubt and self-belief. Without self-doubt, you become complacent. Without self-belief, you cannot succeed. You need both. I want to share a line from a lovely poem by Mary Oliver. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination. When you fall into the funk of competition, think of literature. Think of the early bloomers and the late bloomers. Think of the many experimental novels that do not follow the traditional form. Your story does not have to have the traditional arc. There is an Igbo saying, Mbonye jikuni bututu ya. It translates literally to, whenever you wake up, that is your morning.
When I went to the Balkan, I discovered a slower pace of life that changed everything. And that happened when I first traveled to Albania. They live a very slow life. People are just happy. They don't understand the beauty they have around them. They have the beach, they have the sunrise, sunset. They can watch those at the beach. It is mind-blowing that every day people live this life and it feels mundane to them. Whilst we travel far and near just to see sun or how the water feels in our body because we live in an area where it's usually cold. It was how I realized it was very essential to slow down and simply breathe. We've all had this fear of missing out called FOMO, right? Sometimes social media, depends on how you use it, makes it feel worse. Everyone shows their highlights, makes us feel like we need to keep up. Usually, I have this certain feeling about missing out. Oh, my mates are going out and they are doing things, traveling here and there. Like I was in that bubble and it fixed for a while, better part of my early 20s. And the past few years, I've been working on it. Christ is helping me. But you know what I've learned? Whatever I cannot control has no hold over me. I thought my emotions does not get the best of me. Now, I found something called JOMO. So there is FOMO and there is JOMO. JOMO means the joy of missing out. Someone wrote about it, is by Tanya Dalton, and I was listening to this podcast where they said the joy of missing out is actually something to embrace because you step away from the hustle and bustle and find deeper connection with yourself, with the mundane life, watching the sunrise, watching the sunset, admiring the sky. I'm a sky girl. I love the sky. I love how it can change literally to anything. I take pictures of the sky a lot. Imagine just having joy from that you don't want to go out and it's by choice, not because your friends are doing it and you can't and whatever, and then you start feeling bad about it. Learning to just appreciate life in the everyday living makes it life. So I started living instead of existing. Again, this is by the Holy Spirit. It is not even me at all. But I just make constant effort right now to embrace the mundane. I've been much more at peace. It's incredible how much calmer and happier you can feel when you're not trying to keep up with everyone else.
As the sun set, Lily realized she'd spent the entire day by herself, and maybe she should feel lonely. But she never did. Alone, sure, but not lonely.
What a way to spend soul trip! Watching the sky? Spending time alone allowed me to get in tune with myself. Imagine being alone in an unknown country where they really don't speak English, but I give it to them, they are trying. Actually being an introvert, I used to feel weird. I like the outside, but I don't. When you find me outside more is when I want to travel somewhere, or I probably go to the movies alone. Now, people even find that weird. I don't. I feel like it's really bliss to go out by yourself. It's actually been a transformative experience. You should try it. You would not regret it. Maybe you would, I don't know.
It's the way that you always know. When I drift, you're waving me home. When my head's in a mess at night, I'm not sure how to make it right. I won't get you out of my mind, 'cause I need you by my side. 'Cause I need you by my side.
If you're feeling overwhelmed, give this a try. Go on that social media fast. Fasting is not just food, it could be anything. So I follow Pastor M, and she did Soul Purge, I think in February. It was fasting for different things. Food, anger, junks, resentment. Like, it was a 40 days fast, and I realized we could fast social media, and really it was helpful. Once in a while you would feel the rush of aloneness and loneliness, but you'd be okay because you would sit with your emotions. Because why not? We didn't come this far to not go out. There is a quote I heard from Ibuko Nawoshika: the totality of your life is made up by your everyday decision. So what decision are you making today to live that life? Instead of always worrying about what might be, why not just take today and make the most out of it? Because today was yesterday's tomorrow. Think about it. Today was yesterday's tomorrow. Now, not to put pressure, if you had 5 more years, how would you want to spend it? Spend time with loved ones. These are times you will never get back. So start living today. If Abba can dress up the lilies, how much more would he clothe you? It says you worry about tomorrow's problem when there's even today to face. I paraphrase. So why don't you drop it at his feet first and then do the most that you can?
Hold your friends close. Stand up for your loved ones. Tell the people you love that you love them. Tell them often. Find reasons to laugh. Gravitate towards people with whom you never feel that pressure to perform or to be what you're not. One of the tenets I try to live by is never admire quietly. If I admire something about someone, I let them know. We do not always recognize what is beautiful in ourselves, in our spirits, until somebody has pointed it out to us. And remember that people will hardly ever forget small acts of kindness.
Also, another way to live not a slow life but more peaceful life, if you used to be a sadist like me, it would be auditing the things you listen to. Music is one of the greatest tools that can affect your mood. I used to listen to very dark songs And that even added to me being a sadist because I had a lot of emotions. My mind would spiral and then I'll listen to things. I'm such a lyrical person that things that I hear can affect me or not. So if you want to try living more peaceful, listen to things that edifies your mind, edifies your soul, edifies your spirit, edifies your body, everything literally. I still enjoy the songs. I still love Adele. I would still sing on top of my voice for Callum Scott or Sam Smith, or like, I know better now than to let those words get to me because I know my joy is not even coming from me. It's not coming from things happening. It comes from within, and I know it comes from God. Say, guard your mind with all understanding. It's in the Bible. So we have to do our parts to guard our mind with all understanding. Another thing I would say in terms of living a slow paced life would be taking personal reflections to understand why you feel sad or depressed or whatever feeling that comes. Because I've had my share of hopelessness, and I know we've used this word a lot, mostly depression, so much so sometimes you even wonder if the person knows what they're saying. Like, intense sadness sometimes can be mistaken as being depressed. I know for me, because everything can feel good, but I am unhappy. I have thoughts, intrusive thoughts, but God has been helping me. And one day in 2022, I was sitting in my couch and I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said something: do not be a walking irony of your name. My name is Happiness, but then I used to be a sadist, so imagine, compare both. I literally used to live as a victim of my circumstances and let things define my joy, my purpose. Since that day, I actually started praying about it. Holy Spirit, please help me not to be a walking irony of my name, because I could give happiness, but I had none whatsoever. That has made a huge difference. So when sadness creeps in right now, I just let it sit with me for a moment and I remind myself that I am not a product of my circumstances. Like, I would not let this define me. I affirm things. I'm learning how to read the Bible and pick scriptures that are personified. I would use my name in those scriptures. For example, I have a suicidal thought would say, I would not die because he has given me life in abundance. I have God inside of me. I am not an angry person or a victim. Things like that. And you see, like, you feel, oh, these things, they don't help, but they do. They make you stay grounded and hopeful. It's just all about appreciating here and now. I want you from today to start living. You won't have this time span. Embrace a slow life. Do things more for you. What makes you happy. Your life should be impactful. Be a person that is joyful regardless. It's all about progress and not perfection. Have a bigger picture of your life and know that this is where you want it to be, and with God by your side, all things obviously possible. Just remember, Sha, you're not alone in this journey, okay? Because it is a lifestyle, not a destination. Take care and have a great week.